I'm Jen. I'm a disability rights advocate. I'm here today because creating inclusive, accessible spaces is important to me, and because I think if we get it right for people with intersectional requirements, then we can get it right for most people. And I can share 4 moves towards making inclusive, accessible spaces.
Step 1. Identify what you don't know.
One way to start is by asking yourself what you don't know and how you want to find out the answers to that. For example, you might start thinking, our service is pretty queer friendly, but how accessible is it for people with intellectual disabilities?
Step 2. Research and listen.
You can start by doing some reading, secondly, and listening to people who know what they're talking about what the research is saying about how to make services accessible for people with intellectual disabilities. I guess it's important too then to listen to people with intellectual disabilities. So follow people with intellectual disabilities in social media and hear what they're talking about. As you start doing that, you realize that not everyone's saying the same thing about what makes an inclusive, accessible space. It's not that simple, but hang in there.
Step 3. Be open to feedback.
Thirdly, you'll start finding you feel more confident to ask the people you work with questions about what inclusion and access are to them. Consider feedback. So some people will point out to you when you're messing it up, and that's a learning opportunity. As a colleague of mine, Mariana, says, get curious, not furious. From that, you'll start seeing that there are some themes, but also that there are individual differences. You'll start seeing access barriers that you never noticed before, and you'll start seeing good practice examples that you hadn't seen before. People will send you signals that you are on track to creating inclusive, accessible spaces. They'll keep coming back and they'll show you that they want to keep working with you, or they'll send you signs that they feel trusting and safe.
Step 4. Keep it going.
Fourthly is to start talking to people in your organisation and people in other organisations about what you're learning. Not just what you know, but also the things that you still want to learn more about. A result you might see is that people look free to express themselves and be themselves when they're in your organisation, and that you start to see more diversity around you. And that really can make the organisation stronger.